From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Wednesday morning. We got some serious weather to talk about: the flooding, the winds, and the warmer temperatures. But we're going to focus in, obviously, on the flooding for now, as it is a First Alert Weather Day through Saturday night. Flooding along the Natchez and the Yakima rivers, so we're just going to sort of work our way down both rivers. The Yakima River at Easton, we're expecting the max flood stage to be minor. Flooding time frame is going to be until 4 p.m. on Thursday. Expecting flooding of yards and low-lying areas in the Elk Meadows subdivision. And these are all per the National Weather Service Pendleton official river forecast. The Yakima River at Horlick, moderate flooding. This will go until 10 p.m. on Thursday. There will be flooding of areas in and around South Cle Elum, including pasture land in the vicinity of the river. The levees around Cle Elum may develop seepage, and water may outflank the South Cle Elum levee. Then for the Yakima River at Umtanum, minor flooding. This will go until 4 a.m. on Friday. There will be flooding in pastures along the river. And then for the Natchez River near Natchez, this is probably where we've seen the worst flooding thus far. Moderate flood stage. This will go until 10 a.m. on Friday. And the moderate flooding is possible and is already happening from Cliffdale downstream to Yakima. And we still have level 2B set evacuations in place for areas within 200 feet on either side of the Natchez River, starting at the Little Natchez River and extending east to South Natchez Road in Natchez, Washington. So in that area, got to be packed, got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Then the Yakima River near Parker, moderate flood stage. This will go until 4 p.m. on Friday. There will be flooding of farmland and county roads. Some homes and farm buildings will be flooded, and there will be significant riverbank and topsoil erosion. And so level 2B set evacuations in place here as well for the Yakima River corridor from Sundown M Ranch to the Gap of Sela, including all land and properties within a 60-foot radius of the river. And then finally, the Yakima River near Kiona. This forecast has gotten a little bit better. Now we're just expecting minor flooding. The time frame a little bit later, 4 a.m. on Friday to 4 a.m. on Sunday. There will be minor flooding of pastures and roads adjacent to the river, especially in low-lying areas of West Richland. So we'll continue to, of course, watch all of this like a hawk, but also we're tracking some winds for today and tonight. I'll talk a lot more about that coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, sandbags, road closures, evacuation advisories. The rising waters creating some major headaches across the region. We have the latest on the conditions.
And officials conducting a risky rescue operation along the Yakima River as dozens of people and dozens of pets were pulled from the rising floodwaters. Our crews were there and we have a look at the scene.
Plus, the Walla Walla Alliance for the Homeless is seeing a rising demand, and their sleep center is feeling the pressure. Inside the fragile funding and the necessary expansion, it's all straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Wednesday, December 10th, and we have a lot to talk about this morning, especially in the weather department.
Oh, yeah. So we're starting with continuing coverage on those dangerous conditions across the region as water levels are rising and rising rapidly in many areas.
Yeah, just after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, Yakima County saw some of the worst flooding. Take a look at your screen. You can see it along the Yakima River. This is between Toppenish and Union Gap, right along Interstate 82. You'll see in this video large logs, debris, and then of course that fast-moving water creating some serious problems as evening approached.
Officials are keeping a close eye on the situation, making sure that everybody stays safe.
With the Natchez River rising rapidly, the fire department also issuing a level 2 evacuation advisory for that area. They're asking residents, of course, to stay away from Highway 12 in that area, from the Little Red Schoolhouse, as the floodwaters continue to climb. Take a look. These are some photos that were actually sent in to us from the Natchez Fire Department. Officials saying yesterday morning those high water conditions caused logs to push against the bridge, and all of that going into the Wonderland campground along Highway 12. There's also some major problems in the Nile area with flooding along Elk Valley Lane. We're told that the Nile Road bridge that crosses the Little Rattlesnake Creek has now been damaged and is impassable.
And the Kittitas County Public Health Department is warning people that floodwaters can be dangerous to your health, saying they can expose you to hazardous chemicals, infectious diseases, and injury. They say if your wellhead has been covered by these waters, do not consume it until it's been tested. They also say to not use your septic system until the floodwater goes down. Yakima Valley Emergency Management has sandbags available at multiple locations, and if you need some, we have a list of those locations up on our website. And Nile Cliffdale Fire and Rescue says there is an unmanned sandbag fill station that's located at Station 14 while supplies last. And officials are warning if the roads are flooded, turn around, do not drown. Also, please check AppleValleyNewsNow.com for updates on any road closures.
6:05, taking you to Yakima County now, where the sheriff's office says dozens of homeless people who were living on Robertson Landing were trapped by those rising floodwaters. Apple Valley News Now was the only one there on scene with an exclusive look at the scene. Take a look. You can see search and rescue teams along with what you see right there. One of two Army Black Hawk helicopters from the Yakima Training Center scoured the Yakima River. By about 3:30 yesterday afternoon, a total of 18 people and more than a dozen pets had been rescued. Camp Hope, a homeless resource organization, responded along with a city bus and medics to provide support.
So far, everybody's doing okay. There might be a couple issues of hypothermia, but as you can see behind me, there's the fire department, a couple of ambulances here for any sort of medical attention.
Officials are reminding people in that area to, of course, watch for rising water all through the rest of the weekend into the weekend.
And this is the Walla Walla Alliance for the Homeless says demand for its sleep center is growing as the city continues to expand, and with that growth comes bigger financial hurdles.
Yeah, Apple Valley News Now's William Albert spoke with the Alliance about what they're seeing and the challenges ahead.
The Walla Walla Alliance for the Homeless has operated its sleep center since 2019, a low-barrier shelter designed to help people who are chronically homeless. The facility allows couples and pets and does not require sobriety, and provides a place to stay safe, warm, and dry. It now shelters about 60 to 70 people a night, but officials say the need is growing as rent prices rise and more people struggle to afford housing. The Alliance runs on a budget of about $700,000 a year, which breaks down to $29 per night of care per person. But Green says the shelter does far more than just house people.
As a part of our shelter, we offer peer support services, which is kind of general advocacy for whatever people need, whether it's helping get state identification or state medical benefits or SNAP food stamp benefits, or connection to employment and resume prep and interview preparation, or the housing authority.
Green says that around 30 to 35 people each year move on to better housing, treatment, or employment.
We've added 2 expansions in the last 5 years. We added 9 new huts just at the beginning of July of this year, and we've had those full ever since. And then a couple of years ago, we added what we consider a transitional shelter, and we have units that are called pallet shelters. They're built by an organization out of Everett, Washington. Those actually have electricity.
The Alliance has also added several new amenities.
We also added kind of a fenced dog run facility, kind of a shade shelter cover, some mobile restrooms, and a new laundry facility. And that was a project that got wrapped up this year.
As a low-barrier shelter, the Walla Walla Alliance for the Homeless gets most of its funding from the state, as well as some funding from the county and the city. However, officials tell me that every year brings a level of uncertainty when it comes to its budget.
A couple of times where at the county level, we had to fight a bit for it. And certainly the nature of nonprofit work is each year we really never know what the next year is going to look like.
Green says the Alliance keeps costs low, but emphasizes that anyone can end up homeless.
At the end of the day, there are so many things that lead to people becoming homeless. And so many things that nobody can see coming. Sometimes it's decisions and sometimes it's not. But at the end of the day, people need shelter.
Providing shelter and helping Walla Walla residents stabilize and take the next step. In Walla Walla, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
And this month, the Alliance will participate in the Valley Giving Guide, a regional fundraiser that helps support local nonprofits.
609 and turning now to the roadways of West Richland. A part of West Van Giesen Street is now closed until June 26th. West Richland Police says all of the road closures on Van Giesen are due to the widening of the road as they're adding sidewalks and some utility work. During this long road closure, police officers are advising drivers to be patient and slow down around the construction area. Also take alternate routes and do not go through the road closure signs. West Richland Police Department says they are actively near the construction zones looking for people who are driving through them. But they also add that if you live inside the construction zone area and there's no alternate way of getting home, you are allowed to go through. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we're turning the spotlight on a Chiawana senior who's turning heads on the court, and she's already locked in her college future. Coming up, the Riverhawks standout shining through her final season and why Central Washington says she's the real deal. Details are in just a few minutes.
And giving you that live look outside this morning from right here at our Apple Valley studio in Kennewick. When we come back after the break, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He's going to break down your first alert forecast as we talk about wind, rain, and the possibility of some flooding in areas.
I've got 2 words for you. Jack Pack. All my faves for just $6 with your choice between 2 delicious sandwiches. My work here is done. Get my $6 Jack Pack or my munchies under $4.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
More Furniture has partnered with local nonprofit organizations to help our customers remove unwanted furniture from their homes. When you replace a room with more, we'll pick up your old items and donate them locally. Simply make a purchase, snap a photo of your donation, and we'll take care of the rest when your new items are delivered. What could be more win-win than clearing your space and making a difference in your community? Visit your local showroom for details.
Life. It's a crazy thing when you think about it. It's either about making memories or remembering those moments that matter most. Broadmoor RV has been serving families and its community in the Pacific Northwest for over 20 years. From travel trailers to toy haulers, truck campers, motorhomes, and fifth wheels, we have what you need to start creating memories with the ones you love. So get out there and make those memories last a lifetime. Broadmoor RV. We make camping fun.
Christmas is coming to Pasco. Join us Saturday, December 13th as Peanuts Park transforms into a winter wonderland for Winterfest from 3 to 6 p.m. Enjoy holiday music, crafts, kids games, tasty treats, and a visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus. Before 5, we'll draw the Scavenger Hunt Grand Prize winner. Then gather as we light Pasco's Heritage Christmas tree to kick off the season. Winterfest, December 13th at Peanuts Park, presented by the City of Pasco.
You know you want a burger, so make it my Smash Jack. Rated the best burger in fast food. It's even got more beef than a Big Mac. Chin up, Ronald. Maybe you'll get a participation trophy. My Smash Jack combos are still on top.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
From our family to yours, happy holidays.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to track rainfall in the Cascades. Now, thankfully, it's just light for the time being, but it's a constant onslaught. So, of course, that's going to make river levels continue to rise. All right, we talked about the road closures we're seeing in Yakima County around the Natchez and the Yakima rivers, but additional road closures in Kittitas County, Washington 10 close both directions, milepost 87 to 99 near Tinaway, and this is, of course, due to flooding. And then we have another road closure, Washington 906, just to the south of Snoqualmie Pass. This is approximately 1 mile from the fire station at Yellowstone Trail to Hayek Drive East, and this is also due to flooding, water over the roadway. Okay, another weather phenomenon we got to talk about other than the flooding, the winds. Wind gusts starting to pick up now for lower elevations. Gusts up around 20 miles per hour for the Tri-Cities and Pendleton, much stronger up in the mountains, and these are going to continue to spread down to lower elevations for today and tonight. So for today, the strongest gust going to be 45 miles per hour for the Tri-Cities, Hermiston, and for US 97 at Salinas Pass. And then for tonight, going to kind of hold steady. Now, after 4 a.m. for tonight into tomorrow morning, it's still going to be breezy out there, but the winds aren't going to be as strong as this. For this morning, the winds also doing us a favor in terms of making the temperatures higher, 40s, 50s, and 60s for lower elevations. The high is going to end up in the 60s for today and tomorrow. So 65, 66, that's what we're going with for the Tri-Cities and Hermiston. In the Tri-Cities, we're going to be about, no joke, about 25 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Even by the time we get to the cooler stuff for Saturday, we're still going to be about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than average for this time of the year. But this is the big story. I'll have much more to say about this coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 6:15, turning our attention to sports now this morning, where the Chiawana High School's girls basketball program has some standouts.
4 graduates start college ball this year, and one senior is ready to join them. Bailey Maldonado is a standout player for the Riverhawks who's committed to play at Central Washington University.
Yes, she excels not only on the court, but also in the classroom, balancing her passion for the game with strong academics. Her work ethic is why her coach, Gary Jonas, has nothing but great things to say about her.
It'll bring a smile to my face, because when you start talking about Bailey, it's nothing but good things. It starts for her in the classroom. I mean, she's a tremendous, tremendous student, but she is a junkie. Like, she is a basketball junkie. She loves the game. I find her in the gym all the time, and that's why she's so good. The amount of time that she puts in is incredible.
On top of being a standout on the court, Maldonado has been a 3-year honor roll recipient, and she got the Washington State Tournament Sportsmanship Award last season.
And now she is off to Central Washington. Yes, all right. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth as we give you that live look outside from our Dust Elvis camera in Pasco. He will have your first alert forecast coming up after the break.
Deliver joy with Northern Quest gift cards. Good for dining, shopping, hotel stays, and more. It's what's on everyone's wish list this holiday season. So choose their favorite venue or their favorite color, because the Maslow's gift card will give a great Larive massage too. Available online or at Northern Quest, Kalispell Golf and Country Club, or Kalispell Casino. Snag a limited edition holiday card today at Northern Quest. Gift cards at northernquest.com.
The savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Pick one up in store today. Idaho and instant potatoes are 5 for $5. Seattle's best ground coffee is just $5.99. Bi-Mart's Ultra Strength dishwashing liquid is $6.99. Plus save in the bonus zone. Sterilite 64-quart latching boxes are just $6.99. Duraflame 6-count fire logs are $14.99. Save more now on everyday essentials, Christmas treats, and gifts through December 15th, only at Bi-Mart.
The chill of winter has always been warmed by the glow of tradition, which sometimes starts as a simple gift that is then passed from generation to generation. The holiday season gives us just one more reason to find joy in the little things. And as years fly by, we realize the true gift is actually in the time we get to share together. This season, as past gifts turn into today's treasures, here's to creating that one more cherished moment with the ones you love. Yakima Federal Savings and Loan, celebrating tradition since 1905.
Board-certified gastroenterologist Dr. Amber Sharon is now seeing patients at Prosser Digestive Health Center. Dr. Sharon provides upper endoscopy, colonoscopy, and specializes in women's digestive health. Get expert, compassionate care close to home. Call Prosser Digestive Health Center at 509-786-5599 to schedule, or learn more at prosserhealth.org. Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
She saw a link.
Through, I think it was Apple Valley News.
And in less than a year, her family had their first home. Thanks to Letitia Young for using a link at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
It's an amazing feeling.
Apple Valley News Now, always on your side.
Next, extra, Simon Cowell is secretly married, a rare exclusive with his fiancée. Why she already changed her last name and agreed to let cameras capture their lives.
This is crazy.
Next, extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on Apple Valley News Now.
Kraken, Mammoths. Coverage begins at 6 Friday on My Network TV. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have First Alert Weather days, plural, ahead of us as we have, of course, that not only potential, but the inevitability, yeah, that's a tough word. But anyway, flooding has already started. We already have evacuations in place in Natchez and Selah. And so here is a look at what we're thinking the max flood stage is going to be. Moderate, so the worst stuff is going to be Yakima at Horlick, the Natchez River at Natchez, the Yakima River at Parker. And you see in Yakima and Kittitas counties, looks like the flood water is going to recede at some point during the day of Thursday or Friday, but further downstream, Yakima at Kiona in Benton County. This flooding time frame would be from 4 a.m. on Friday to 4 a.m. on Sunday. So a little bit later, of course, we'll continue to keep tabs on this all throughout this week. Very important forecast. Speaking of rivers, this atmospheric river that is in the Pacific, and it is lining up and it is taking aim once again for the Cascades. So let's put this into motion over the next 48 hours with Futurecast radar. And you'll notice for today, lower elevation is going to be mostly dry, not 100% dry, but mostly dry. And the Cascades is going to continue to almost like just magnetic, the rain just like magnetically pulled into the Cascades. It seems like that's what's happened all week, and that's what's going to continue to happen for today. Even the rainfall starting to pick up a little bit for tonight into tomorrow morning. And then after 4 p.m., 5 p.m. for tomorrow, that's when we're going to start to trend drier for the Cascades. And I'm thinking at that point, we'll get a little breather in the action. Of course, you can see those hour-by-hour precip chances for your exact home address by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app free in the App Store or on Google Play. Rainfall totals for the rest of this round, still another 2 to 4 inches for the Cascades. Not much doing for the rest of us. And then the wet weather is going to ramp up once again into next week. But this time it looks like this could be a more wintry storm system, snow for the mountains as opposed to rainfall. 5 to 6 inches for a Cascade passes 4 p.m. on Monday to 4 a.m. on Wednesday. So we'll see what that ends up doing to past travel. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. The potential for minor river flooding of the Yakima on Friday and Saturday. Those biggest impacts would be in West Richland. And then in Yakima, still seeing those level 2B set evacuations for Selah and Natchez. Got to be packed, got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. In Ellensburg, river flooding continues through Friday. For Hermiston, warm, windy, and drier today, then staying mostly dry Thursday through Sunday. And finally for Walla Walla, also a warmer and windier day for Wednesday, trending slightly wetter for Thursday.
All right, 622, check this out. Spice maker McCormick has revealed its 2026 flavor of the year. You guys ready?
What is it?
Black currant.
So McCormick is predicting that the tart berry flavor will soon be big in American dishes and drinks, and with its origins in Europe and Central Asia, it's starting to appear on menus in the U.S., most notably in cocktails and soft drinks.
I've never heard of this before, so you learn something new every day. Yes, just uncultured. Well, McCormick's flavor of the year is part of its annual report on dining trends. McCormick says the concept of attainable opulence is rising, with Americans treating themselves to small extravagancies in today's tough economy.
Attainable
little treat here and there.
opulence. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that.
Let's do it.
What? I guess
Is that how
mostly
it's run?
drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I guess if you like grind it up.
Yeah.
Like any other spice.
I'm gonna Google what it's mostly in.
I'm working on it right now.
You are. 20s. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna see what McCormick had to say about it. Kind of where we're putting
I didn't even know they did
how
a
we're
flavor of
using
the
it.
year.
Well, since 2000.
Okay. Well.
So just for the last 26 years.
Okay. Cool. I think you were the flavor of the year for one of them.
Yeah, pumpkin spice right there. I was.
I love it.
All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A 135-year-old New York City church may lose its landmark status. And some big Hollywood names stepping in are trying to save it. We have why stars like Matt Dillon and Mark Ruffalo say the historic building is worth fighting for. That's all coming up in your entertainment headlines after the break.
It's time It's time to celebrate the season of giving with friends and family pricing at Walker's Furniture. Save big store-wide, plus get 5 years special financing with no money down.
Merry Christmas!
We're cooking up something special. Yolks Exclusives. Original recipes crafted in-house every day by people who take fresh seriously. A collection of signature products you won't find anywhere else. Meticulously prepared with only the freshest ingredients and sold exclusively at Yolks Fresh Markets.
I have active psoriatic arthritis, but with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready for this moment. Along with clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And it's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Christmas is fast approaching, and Honey Baked Ham has exactly what your family gathering needs. Pick up one of our famous fully cooked spiral hams dripping with our delicious glaze. And don't worry, we also have whole turkeys and whole turkey breasts. Don't forget, Honey Baked Ham makes a perfect holiday gift. Complete your feast with our incredible sides and delicious desserts. So many choices! Honey Baked Ham on Columbia Center Boulevard, or call us at 509-579-5855. Put Honey Baked Ham on your table this year.
Looking good. This is a good-looking crowd. Next live, Lorraine Bracco from The Mother, the Minister, and Me. And it's Gift Bargains Week.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
It's time to celebrate the season of giving with friends and family pricing at Walker's Furniture. Save big store-wide, plus get 5 years special financing with no money down.
Merry Christmas!
Happy holidays from Apple Valley News Now. Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Looking at your entertainment news, Hollywood stars like Matt Dillon and Mark Ruffalo are joining the fight to save a New York City landmark.
Yeah, the church on New York's Upper West Side is 135 years old. When it was landmarked back in 2010, the Landmarks Preservation Committee deemed it one of the best examples of Romanesque revival in the city.
Now the commission is considering whether or not to strip the church of its landmark status, citing a hardship application. Actor Matt Dillon says selling to a developer to build more high-rises would be destructive.
I just don't think we should demolish historical landmarks to put up a kind of high-rise, generic high-rises. I think it's very destructive, and I think it's not in the best interest of the entire city.
The Presbytery of New York wants to sell the church to a developer for $30 million, though the building is in need of millions of dollars in repairs.
I mean, it's a tough spot to be in. You want to preserve those things as much as you possibly can, but then you look at a place like New York, where it just continues to grow and, you know, more buildings continue to go up. It's
Sometimes it takes people like these actors to really get the movement going, so we'll see what becomes of it.
All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Tight deadlines, technical issues, budget errors. Sunnyside City Council is facing a high-pressure meeting this week when the final budget draft raised some questions. We're going to take you inside that meeting coming up.
Plus, Pasco's rapid growth is creating big financial concerns. This as city leaders warn about a potential shortfall that could be on the horizon. With all the details coming up in your 6:30 half hour.
If you have an injury claim and are considering a settlement with the insurance company, make sure you're compensated for every element of damage you're entitled to. This holiday message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
More Furniture has partnered with local nonprofit organizations to help our customers remove unwanted furniture from their homes. When you replace a room with more, we'll pick up your old items and donate them locally. Simply make a purchase, snap a photo of your donation, and we'll take care of the rest when your new items are delivered. What could be more win-win than clearing your space and making a difference in your community? Visit your local showroom for details.
In an instant, your world can shatter. At Quantum Legal, we understand injuries can be an immense burden, taking a toll on your body and leaving you drowning in medical expenses. Battling insurance companies without legal representation will make matters worse. We are committed to advocating for your deserved compensation. Quantum Legal, where compassion meets justice.
Good Shepherd provides the most up-to-date orthopedic care available. Our team of experienced board-certified surgeons and podiatrists are capable of fulfilling your orthopedic needs. Services include precise joint replacements, sports medicine, all orthoscopic shoulder and knee repairs, fracture care, hand surgery, and foot and ankle care. We are here to help you with your pain and maximize your body's performance and function. Good Shepherd Orthopedics in Hermiston. Patients first, always.
Christmas is coming to Pasco. Join us Saturday, December 13th as Peanuts Park transforms into a winter wonderland for Winterfest from 3 to 6 p.m. Enjoy holiday music, crafts, kids' games, tasty treats, and a visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus. Before 5, we'll draw the scavenger hunt grand prize winner. Then gather as we light Pasco's heritage Christmas tree to kick off the season. Winterfest, December 13th at Peanuts Park, presented by the City of Pasco.
From Griggs and Ace. Our family has been a part of this community since 1939.
Working and living in this area for over 86 years.
We've had the pleasure of serving and working with thousands of you over the years.
And most of all, we have been fortunate to serve you. So thank you. Thank you to our employees, past and present.
Thank you for choosing to shop with us for 86 years. We want to wish you all a blessed holiday season. And from the Grigg family, Merry Christmas.
If you have an injury claim and are considering a settlement with the insurance company, make sure you're compensated for every element of damage you're entitled to. This holiday message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
First Alert Weather Radar, sponsored by Idaho Central Credit Union.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
A lot to break down in the weather department this morning.
Rain, flooding.
Yes,
wind.
And by the way, it's going to be 65 degrees today, and it's December 10th.
I love that so much.
No, I'm excited for it as well, but we're going to be like 20 to 25 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. So weird season for sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at those big weather stories. The flooding, the winds, and the warmth. That kind of covers it for now. We're going to focus in on the flooding because that poses the biggest risk to life and property. So it is a first alert weather day through Saturday night. Here's a comprehensive list of the river flooding forecast. Looks like the worst stretches of river are going to be the Yakima at Horlick, the Natchez at Natchez, and the Yakima River at Parker. This time frame looks like the flood water or the river levels are going to dip back below flood stage sometime during Thursday, Friday for Kittitas and Yakima counties, but further downstream in Benton County, Yakima at Kiona, this time frame 4 a.m. on Friday to 4 a.m. on Sunday. So that crest is going to be a little bit later. That's when we're going to see impacts to West Richland. Okay, but for now, as we speak, level 2 B set evacuations in place for the Natchez River in Natchez, areas within 200 feet of either side of the river, starting at the Little Natchez and extending east to South Natchez Road in Natchez, of course. And then for the Yakima River in Selah, the corridor from Sundown M Ranch to the Gap of Selah, including all land and properties within a 60-foot radius of the river. So in those areas, got to be packed, got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Something else we're tracking, the winds for today and tonight. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 6:33, we begin this half hour of news talking money in Sunnyside after a challenging final regular meeting of the year where the budget plan faced some unexpected hurdles. The council now finding themselves racing against time. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Garcia takes us inside the urgent preparations as the city scrambles to get its budget in order, mindful of past mistakes and determined not to repeat them.
The Sunnyside City Council, working closely with Finance Director Monica Hofster, has created a plan to balance the budget for the upcoming year. However, this week's City Council meeting saw a rushed presentation of the final budget draft. Technical difficulties plagued the Finance Director, forcing her to restart her work multiple times, adding pressure to an already tight schedule. During a review of the rushed draft, Deputy Mayor George Galvan found an error.
You still have 8 communications officers listed. My understanding, due to when Toppinich went away, it went down to 6. Should that be updated to 6?
Correct. It's going to be 6 with 1 supervisor.
The proposed budget includes some cuts. Pool hours are slashed to halftime, which will also reduce some employment opportunities.
Seasonal staffing is reduced to half of what it would normally be. Normally there's 12 temporary seasonal maintenance staffing, and we reduced that down to 6.
Hiring freezes are also part of the plan, meant to help stabilize finances. Concerns about the final budget draft didn't stop with Deputy Mayor Galvan. Councilwoman Karen Vasquez and Julia Hart voiced their concerns as well, emphasizing the need for caution and thorough review before approval.
This is also we're barely getting the books, and for us to just vote yes right now, I feel like a lot that we need to digest, and I would feel more comfortable having some more time going over it all.
Now I'm looking at, that should say 6 plus 1 under the communications thing. And then there were some questions again about the dispatch. There were some questions again about the jail. There's some questions still about some other places where we're talking about freezes. So I would really rather have a little bit more time just to make sure that this is still matching with what we looked at before.
With hesitation mounting, the council did not approve the budget at the last regular city council meeting of the year. Facing a state-imposed deadline of December 31st to finalize their budget, the council has scheduled a special meeting for December 29th. Reporting in Sunnyside, Monique Garcia, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Monique. And 6:36 now, and still talking budgets, but now in Pasco, that's where rapid growth is creating some tough financial questions, and city leaders are concerned about why the numbers aren't adding up. During the last City Council workshop, City Manager Harold Stewart warned that the cost of growth may soon outpace the revenue that it brings in. He said the city could face a $12 to $14 million budget shortfall in the next 2-year cycle as inflation, infrastructure demands, and staffing pressures continue to rise. Stewart also raised concerns over state-mandated paid family and medical leave, saying long absences are making it harder to keep essential work covered. Council members say they'll continue discussing the financial impacts as they shape the next budget. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, fewer Americans plan to tip this holiday season, but some gifts still matter. After the break, we'll break down what experts say about giving responsibly this season.
Kraken, Mammoths. Coverage begins at 6 Friday on My Network TV.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Here at the clinic, we stay up to date on the latest research, and we offer cutting-edge therapies. We treat a number of different conditions, specifically Parkinson's disease, stroke recovery, traumatic brain injury, fibromyalgia, diabetes. We also treat folks dealing with cognitive decline due to aging.
We all have dreams and ideas about how life is going to be, and then life happens, and it's not necessarily what we pictured. So how do we deal with that? I've lived with multiple sclerosis for years. It's realizing that it's all one system. How do you reset your goals so that you can live a happy, healthy life even with chronic illness? And I can attest, yes, you can. My life is incredibly happy.
We first start by improving oxygen utilization in the cells because healthy cells are well oxygenated. We then work towards improving areas of the brain that are inefficient, and for this we use a number of different modalities. We offer oxygen contrast therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, transcranial photobiomodulation, and our latest addition, brain high-intensity interval training.
We also build a schedule for the patient that makes it easy to adapt their game plan to their lives and the therapies they do inside the clinic. To get started, call 509-783-5465 and schedule an appointment with a client advocate today.
Bathfitter knows what you're looking for. The perfect style for your bath remodel with the look of tile you want. New textures, shapes, and styles. Works with your budget? Low maintenance. With no messy grout to clean. Quality and beauty that lasts, backed by a lifetime warranty. Sounds like Bathfitter's styles are your match. And with new designs, now there's even more to love. Time to set a date. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Aw, come on! Leftovers are for quitters! That's why the Black Friday Super Sale at Denver Mattress has been extended.
And for a limited time, the more you buy, the more you save. Take $100 off every $1,000 you spend and watch the savings stack up. Or get a $300 gift when you purchase any Tempur-Pedic. Save up to $400 on Doctor's Choice Elite Adjustable Mattress Sets. Plus 60 months no interest financing and free shipping.
But hurry, the extended Black Friday Super Sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
Happy holidays from all of us at Apple Valley News Now.
Enter Santa's Big Give and maybe win $500 from Coca-Cola of Yakima Tri-Cities or a $200 gift card from Bank CDA. Enter at contests on AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Win big from Coca-Cola, Bank CDA, and Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're seeing some light rainfall continuing to fall in the Cascades. And I guess it's good news that it's light, but it's bad news that it's a constant onslaught, and that's been the problem we've been seeing all week. Okay, of course, there's some flooding concerns. Obviously, there's some flooding concerns in Yakima County, but in terms of road closures due to flooding in Kittitas County, we have Washington 10, both directions, milepost 87 to 99 near Tinaway. This is due to flooding, of course. And then for Washington 906, south of Snoqualmie Pass, approximately 1 mile from the fire station at Yellowstone Trail to Hayek Drive East. This would also be due to water over the roadway. We'll continue to keep you posted on that. Wind gusts starting to pick up now for lower elevations, and they've been up there for the mountains. Gusts up around 45 to 50 miles per hour for places like White Pass and Tollgate. These will spread down to lower elevations a little bit later today and into tonight. So for today, the strongest gust going to be for the basin and also for Sadish Pass. Those gusts up around 45 miles per hour. And then for tonight, looks like those are going to hold steady. Will still be breezy into Thursday, but not as windy. So right now, temperatures in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and we're seeing some 30s. So a very big spread for lower elevations. 39 in Ellensburg, 61 in Walla Walla. You can thank the winds coming out of the south for that. And the highs today, for the most part for lower elevations, going to be in the 60s, 65, 66 for the Tri-Cities and Hermiston, respectively. Even in Yakima, where we'll be in the low 60s, that's still going to be about 20 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. We will cool things off a little bit over the next 7 days, but still well above average for the middle of December. And of course, this is leading to rainfall, not snowfall in the mountains. So we'll talk about how that's impacting our rivers coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Josh. 6:42, taking a look at your consumer news this morning. When it comes to holiday gratuities, deciding who to tip and how much to tip can be a struggle.
Oh, yeah. And that's why in today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan has tips on who to tip this holiday season.
It's the season of giving, but when it comes to tips, who should you give to and how much?
Tip who's really gone out of their way to make your life easier this year.
Ted Rossman works at personal finance company Bankrate. They recently conducted a survey about holiday tipping and found 56% of U.S. adults say they usually give bigger tips when they receive better service. But they also found fewer people plan to tip this holiday season.
A lot of people are cutting back, but some, especially high earners, are giving as much or more.
Bankrate came up with a list of the most common people to tip in the U.S., starting with housekeepers. tips range anywhere from $20 to more than $50, depending on the service, their survey found. And it doesn't have to be cash. The U.S. Postal Service doesn't allow employees to accept cash, but if you want to show your mail carrier appreciation, they can accept a gift of less than $20 or something like baked goods. The more you interact with someone, Rossman says, the more you should tip, like a childcare provider or housekeeper.
Whatever you normally pay them for a weekly service, you might consider doubling that one at the end of the year.
When you're setting your holiday budget, Rossman says it's important to factor in tipping because it can add up fast. Make a list of who is most important and figure out how much you can afford to give. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Can be a real sticky situation at times.
Yeah, all great tips to keep in mind.
Tips. Giving out tips. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning. And give me that live look outside from our dust levels camera in Pasco. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert's going to be back with your full First Alert forecast on this First Alert weather day, talking about some river flooding from now through the weekend.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
There's no place like home for the holidays.
And there's no better time to save on furniture and mattresses than right now during Walker's Friends and Family Sale.
Get the furniture you like at the prices you'll love. With some clearance items up to 70% off.
Plus, take advantage of 5-year special financing with no money down.
And remember, Walker's is where
quality just costs less.
More family to yours. Merry Christmas!
Everyone deserves to be connected. Big cities, small towns, everywhere in between. And staying connected shouldn't break the bank. That's why T-Mobile and US Cellular have joined forces. The best network just got bigger. And we're combining it with the local service you know and trust. Join now and save up to 20% versus Verizon.
The best gifts are at Macy's Friends and Family Sale with 30% off our best brands and 15% off beauty and fragrance. Or Star Rewards members can earn even more Star money on more top brands at Macy's Friends and Family ends Thursday.
These hands are working hands. My hands are the most important tools I have. You need to take care of them. That's where O'Keeffe's comes in.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also, try O'Keeffe Skin Repair Body Creams.
The savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Pick one up in store today. Idaho and instant potatoes are 5 for $5. Seattle's best ground coffee is just $5.99. Bi-Mart's Ultra Strength dishwashing liquid is $6.99. Plus, save in the bonus zone. Sterilite 64-quart latching boxes are just $6.99. Duraflame 6-count fire logs are $14.99. Save more now on everyday essentials, Christmas treats, and gifts through December 15th, only at Bi-Mart.
Christmas is coming to Pasco. Join us Saturday, December 13th as Peanuts Park transforms into a winter wonderland for Winterfest from 3 to 6 p.m. Enjoy holiday music, crafts, kids' games, tasty treats, and a visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus. Before 5, we'll draw the scavenger hunt grand prize winner. Then gather as we light Pasco's heritage Christmas tree to kick off the season. Winterfest, December 13th at Peanuts Park, presented by the City of Pasco.
Enter Santa's Big Give and maybe win $500 from Coca-Cola of Yakima Tri-Cities or a $200 gift card from Bank CDA. Enter at contests on AppleValleyNews.com. Win big from Coca-Cola, Bank CDA, and Apple Valley News Now.
From our family to yours, happy holidays.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It continues to be a First Alert weather day as we'll continue to see that threat for river flooding through this weekend, through Saturday night to be precise. So here is a comprehensive look at our river flooding forecast. See the worst sections of river are going to be the Yakima at Horlick, the Natchez at Natchez, the Yakima at Parker. And for Kittitas and Yakima counties, it looks like the floodwaters should recede by Thursday, Friday, but in Benton County, they're actually going to pick up Friday morning and last until Sunday morning. So we'll continue to tweak this graphic as we continue to get more data into the Weather Center. Speaking of rivers, this atmospheric river continues to impact the Cascades. Let's put this into motion over the next 48 hours. And all throughout today, you'll notice a theme. Lower elevations of the Blues going to be mostly dry, but the Cascades, this constant onslaught of rainfall, and it even turns heavier into the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. Now, for tomorrow, slightly better rain chances for lower elevations and for the Blues, but still it's going to be the Cascades picking up the bulk of this. Then after 4 p.m., 5 p.m., that's when we'll start to see the action ramping down finally for the Cascades. Of course, you can see hour-by-hour precip chances for your exact home address by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app, free in the App Store or on Google Play. Here's some of the rainfall totals we're expecting from this morning through the end of this round. Another 2 to 4 inches to go for the Cascades, but to the east of there, not much doing at all. Okay, a little reprieve in the action for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, at least in terms of rain actually falling from the sky. But we start to see things ramping back up again for next week. And this next storm system looking a little bit more wintry this time, which we are happy about in terms of like we don't need more rainfall up in the mountains. Now we need to start to get some snow building up that snowpack. 4 p.m. on Monday to 4 a.m. on Wednesday, maybe 5 to 6 inches for a Cascade passes. That could impact travel, so we'll keep a close eye on that. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. The potential for minor river flooding in the Yakima on Friday and Saturday. Those biggest impacts would be in West Richland, especially around low-lying areas. Then in Yakima, still seeing those level 2 beset evacuations for Sela and Natchez. And then in Ellensburg, river flooding continues through Friday. In Hermiston, warm, windy, and drier today. Then staying mostly dry Thursday through Sunday. And finally for Walla Walla, also a warmer and windier day for Wednesday, trending slightly wetter for Thursday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good. Never mind.
Now, the morning sprint.
It is 6:50 time for your morning sprint this morning, and we start with your national headlines. And we start in Australia. They're banning children under the age of 16 from using social media, and that starts today. The tech industry disagrees that this restriction makes kids safer, but companies say they will implement it with age verification technology. For U.S. parents, some experts see it as an opportunity. They say talking to kids about social media is important and say the ban could be a conversation starter. They add that kids need limits. Experts also say parents should remember social media has both pros and cons. For some young people, they say it's an important way to feel connected. For others, they say it can harm mental health. And in your business headlines this morning, teachers aren't the only ones annoyed by the 6-7 craze. Apparently, someone high up enough to make a difference in In-N-Out Burger decided to take a stand. People magazine has confirmed when the fast food chain calls out order numbers 67, it's no longer among them. An employee says that the change was actually made about a month ago. 6-7 is a nonsensical phrase many children love to repeat, even my 3.5-year-old. Some experts, she has older siblings, some experts who assumed it would be gone by now are still surprised that it's around. Aren't we all, parents? Meanwhile, a few competitors are trying to capitalize on it. Wendy's has added a 67-cent Frosty deal, and Pizza Hut now has 67-cent wings. But there will be no order 67 at In-N-Out. Absolutely not.
I feel like Pizza Hut's the way to do it, and Wendy's.
Right? Let's do it.
All right, turning to your health headlines now. The FDA is looking into whether deaths across multiple age groups are related to COVID-19 vaccines. Yesterday's announcement follows a November memo from an FDA official. He claimed that COVID vaccinations caused the deaths of 10 children. The Department of Health and Human Services says a full investigation is now underway, but officials are not saying what data is being reviewed. According to the World Health Organization, more than 700 million COVID vaccine doses have been given in the U.S.
6:53 now, the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. We're talking floodwaters rising fast across the region. Natchez River rose rapidly yesterday, prompting the fire department to issue a level 2 evacuation advisory. Residents are warned to stay away from Highway 12 and the Little Red Schoolhouse as floodwaters continue to climb. High water also pushed logs against the bridge into Wonderland Campground, and major flooding occurred in the Nile area, including Elk Valley Lane. Officials also reporting that the Nile Road Bridge over Little Rattlesnake Creek was damaged and is now impassable. So anyone who uses that area needs to find alternative routes, and of course remember to steer clear of those flooded areas.
And Yakima County is also facing dangerous flooding, particularly along the Yakima River between Toppenish and Union Gap. That's near Interstate 82. Fast-moving water, debris, and large logs created major hazards for people in the area. Officials are staying on high alert this morning, and they continue to monitor the river and the surrounding areas. Flood warnings remain in effect. Residents are urged to avoid flooded areas and to stay aware of the changing conditions.
All of this is a rescue operation began Tuesday morning near Robertson Landing. This is just outside of Union Gap. Yakima County Search and Rescue fire crews, 2 Army Black Hawk helicopters helping rescue 18 people along with dozens of pets that were trapped there by the rising water. One woman recounted wading through chest-deep water with her 4 cats to reach safety. Camp Hope and other local shelters provided beds, meals, and care.
And in Prosser, police responded yesterday morning to a rest area on Merlot Drive. This after a Facebook Marketplace meetup ended with an alleged assault. Officials say the victim was attacked by a man in a car, and they say both the attacker and seller reportedly stole items before leaving. The alleged attacker is a 45-year-old man from Prosser. He was taken into custody on charges of first-degree robbery and second-degree theft.
And a part of West Van Giesen Street in West Richland will be closed from now until June 26th for road widening, sidewalk installation, and utility work. Police advise drivers to slow down, use alternative routes, and avoid driving through construction zones. Now, if you live in the construction area, you, of course, can still access your home, but just be careful as you make your way through that area. West Richland Police will be actively monitoring the area to prevent unsafe driving through the work zone.
Trending now this morning, prebiotic soda brand Olipop has an unusual holiday campaign this year.
You can say that again because it's giving away soda-scented wrapping paper.
Ooh.
Okay, so they're inspired by the crisp apple, vintage cola, and ginger ale flavors.
The company is randomly selecting 1,000 fans to receive a roll of wrapping paper and a 12-pack of the corresponding flavor. You can enter daily at drinkolipop.com/holiday helper. Winners will be notified within a business day.
And this giveaway started this week, and it'll run through December 16th.
It's kind of fun.
It reminds me of Willy Wonka and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and they have the wrapping or the wallpaper, and it's edible.
Edible wallpaper.
But this isn't edible, so don't start licking that wrapping paper. You might want to, because
scratch and sniff
it
situation.
tastes like it. Yeah.
It might smell kind of good. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You might want to taste it, but don't do it.
But don't do it.
Be safe.
Yeah.
And be safe because lots of rain, lots of flooding.
Yeah.
Turn around, don't drown. I want that to kind of like live rent-free in your head over the next handful of days. Let's go ahead and take a look at the river flooding forecast. In Yakima and Kittitas counties, looks like the flood water is going to recede on Thursday and Friday, but for Benton County, Yakima, Kiona, looks like the flood water is going to come up 4 a.m. on Friday to 4 a.m. on Sunday, so a little bit of a later time frame. Level 2B set evacuation still in place for areas within 200 feet on either side of the Natchez River, starting at the Little Natchez River and extending east to South Natchez Road. And then level 2B set evacuations in place for the Yakima River corridor from Sundown M Ranch to the Gap of Sela, including all land and properties within a 60-foot radius of the river. So in those locations, got to be set, got to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Highs today going to be in the 50s and 65 degrees in the Tri-Cities. That's 25 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Also, it's going to be windy for today and tonight. And so big things happening with the weather.
Lots going on, but those 50s, 60s, I'll take it.
I feel nice.
I know it will, won't it?
All right, thank you for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website. That's AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Good Morning America's up next. We're back tonight with your local news and weather.
Have a great day.